Rani Lakshmibai. She was a queen, a warrior, and a mother. And in India's fight for freedom, she became a legend. This is the story of Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. Lakshmibai was born in 1828 in the sacred city of Varanasi. Her birth name was Manikarnika Tambe, but her family lovingly called her Manu. Her father, Moropan Tambe, worked for the Maratha rulers, and her mother, Bhagirathi Bai, was a kind and spiritual woman. But Manu lost her mother when she was still very young. After her mother's death, she grew up in the court of the Peshwa of Bithur, surrounded by warriors and scholars. Unlike most girls of that time, Manu was not raised to be quiet and obedient. She learned to ride horses, shoot arrows, and fight with swords. She trained with boys and often beat them at their own games. From a young age, she was already showing signs of the brave leader she would one day become. When she was just 14, Manu married Raja Gangadhar Rao, the king of Jhansi, a small but rich princely state in northern India. After marriage, she was given a new name, Lakshmibai, a name that would be remembered forever in Indian history. As queen, Lakshmibai was not just a royal figurehead. She actively took part in running the kingdom. Her intelligence, courage, and sense of justice won the love of her people and the respect of her husband. Before war touched Jhansi, the city flourished under Lakshmibai's rule. She wasn't just a fighter, she was a builder and protector. Roads were repaired, wells were dug, and local farmers were given support. She opened her palace doors to listen to the common people and made sure that justice was fair for all. She respected tradition but also welcomed change. Temples and schools were restored, and merchants traded freely in the busy markets of Jhansi. The people didn't just obey her, they loved her. She was their queen, their mother, their shield. Under her rule, Jhansi was proud, peaceful, and strong. But beyond the city walls, the shadow of British ambition was growing. Lakshmibai knew that everything she had built and everything she loved was now at risk. In 1851, the royal couple had a son, but their happiness didn't last long. The baby died after just a few months. The loss broke their hearts. To make sure Jhansi had a future king, they adopted a young boy named Damodar Rao, a relative's child. Before he died in 1853, the king requested the British to recognize Damodar as his legal heir. But the British had their own plans. Under the rule of Lord Dalhousie, the British East India Company followed a policy called the Doctrine of Lapse. According to this law, if a king died without a biological son, the British could take over the kingdom even if the king had adopted a child. So, the British refused to accept Damodar as the next ruler. They announced that Jhansi would be annexed, and they asked Lakshmibai to leave the palace and accept a pension. But she refused. With fire in her voice, she declared, "I will not give up my Jhansi." She sent letters and petitions to British officials in India and London, but no one listened. The British moved in and took control of the city. In 1857, a storm was brewing. Indian soldiers in the British Army, known as sepoys, rebelled in Meerut. The fire of revolution quickly spread across northern India. This was India's first war of independence. When the rebellion reached Jhansi, Lakshmibai saw her chance. She took back control of the fort, raised the flag of resistance, and began to build an army. She trained both men and women to fight. Ordinary citizens turned into fearless warriors under her leadership. Her young adopted son, Damodar, was tied to her back during battles, a powerful symbol of strength and motherhood. In early 1858, British forces led by General Hugh Rose marched toward Jhansi, determined to crush the Queen's resistance. But Lakshmibai was ready. For 2 long weeks, she and her soldiers defended the fort bravely. Cannons roared, swords clashed. The people of Jhansi fought with everything they had. Eventually, the British broke through Thesa walls. Knowing the city could no longer be defended, Lakshmibai made a daring escape with a small group of warriors and her son. She rode through the night and reached Kalpi, where she joined other rebel leaders like Tatya Tope. Together, they continued the fight, capturing nearby forts and planning fresh attacks. In the 18th of June 58, Lakshmibai and her allies captured the mighty Gwalior Fort, one of the most important British bases in central India. It was a huge victory, but it didn't last long. The British struck back quickly. On the 18th of June, the same year, Rani Lakshmibai fought her last battle. She rode into the battlefield like a true warrior dressed in armor, sword in hand. In the middle of the fierce battle, she was badly wounded and she died fighting for her people. To protect her honor, her soldiers took her body and cremated her in secret, far from British hands. She died at just 29 years old. But in her short life, she had become a symbol of courage and sacrifice. Even her enemies admired her. British General Hugh Rose later wrote, "She was the bravest and the most dangerous of all the Indian leaders. She was the only man among the rebels." After her death, her adopted son Damodar Rao was taken to safety. He lived a quiet life away from the throne his mother had fought so hard to protect. Today, Rani Lakshmibai is a national hero in India. Children learn about her in school. Her story is told in books, songs, plays, and films. Statues of her sword raised high, sun on her back. Rani Lakshmibai's name lives on as a symbol of resistance, courage, and the unbreakable spirit of a woman who dared to defy an empire. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to help us grow. Thanks for watching.